see some of the best racing that we could ever see on a Saturday night.
We are ready to go from South Boston, short track, short fuses.
Oh, my goodness. Castroneves and Tracy.
I drive rough, but that was dirty, man.
I am very surprised that Paul Tracy did not punch Elio directly in the face.
Tension.
Oh, another crash. Here he goes.
No. And around he goes.
It turned into aggravation on the track.
Oh, trouble. Car on the wall. Turn number 3. Michael Waltrip.
Here from Uncle Mike.
That's the dumbest you can do. I'm just done playing nice with everybody. You're getting ready to get one hell of a show for the next 4 weeks, I can promise you.
Drivers, start your engines! Watch me. Here we go. Buckle up. It's season 2 of the Superstar Racing Experience. This place is fast. It can be mean. Final lap. Who will take the checkered flag? A feature win.
Short track, short fuses, tension.
Castroneves wins.
Superstar Saturday night.
Oh boy, here we go. Oh man, this is going to be fun.
Come on.
Who gets the jump? They're still bumping and banging.
You're good, you're good, you're good.
We're not done yet. Are you ready to light this thing up? Watch me.
Let's get this show started. Welcome to week 3 of the Camping World SRX series on CBS. Tonight, we're coming to you from Stafford Springs, Connecticut. This is where we had our inaugural event last season, and I can tell you the fans in Stafford Springs, they love some short track Saturday night racing. I know that because I was here at noon and I watched these fans run through the gates. Plus, as you heard, there is some unfinished business from last week. So these fans are ready. The race car drivers are ready. Tonight, we have some younger race fans who are ready to give the command to start engines. Kids, drivers, start your engines! That was awesome. Last year, Willie T. Ribbs was one of these 12 racers firing up those engines. But if we've learned anything about Willie, it's that he loves to try his hand at all sorts of different things. So he has traded in his race car for the microphone. Tonight, he's joining our Alan Bestwick in the booth. Alan, I know after what we saw on the track last week, you guys are going to have plenty to talk about tonight.
Yeah, looking forward to a lot of it. I think the good news for Willie T is it's air conditioned up here, not in that hot race car tonight. Hey, listen, you drove this racetrack last year. You just heard all the highlights from last week. What are we going to see tonight?
After last weekend's rumble in Virginia, tonight is going to be the night of the rematch. And there's a lot of rematches you're going to see. It's going to be wild. And for the fans, you got a ringside seat to this show.
Now, this track is bigger than South Boston last week. You still expect to see that level of sparks fly?
Oh, it could be at Indy or Daytona. There's going to be some sparks and a lot of them.
Yeah, well, it's going to be an exciting show, and we know these fans are juiced up and ready for it tonight. So here is our starting lineup for tonight. Haley Deegan back with SRX this week. She drew pole position. The Indy champ Ryan Hunter-Ray's on the outside of the front row. Bill Elliott back with us tonight. And the local hero is Money Matt Hirschman. More on him in a minute. Justin Marks subbing for Elio Castroneves. Greg Biffle starting in 6th position. Marco Andretti is in 7th, with Bobby Lamonti lined up in 8th. Last week's winner, Tony Stewart, is 9th, and Michael Waltrip is 10th. He said we're going to hear from Uncle Mikey tonight. What do you say we hear from him on the radio right now?
Michael Waltrip, tonight is your rematch, your first rematch with Ryan Hunter-Ray. Are you going to rope dope, or are you going to do a quick knockout?
Well, your best plans. It worked fine in rehearsal when we talked to Michael before they started the engines. Apologize for that. We'll try and have our best people jump all over that one and get it right. as we have a couple laps behind the pace car before the green flag. Gives us time to check downstairs and welcome in Matt Yoakum. Matty?
Well, Alan, when you look back to South Boston, sure, it brought the excitement and a lot of drama and tempers, but it also brought a lot of carnage. So the SRX game plan with the short turnaround before coming north, they took half the Fleet to Fury race cars, the most damaged cars, then the other 6 went back to the SRX race shop. Paul Tracy, he needed everything replaced from the firewall forward. Michael Waltrip's car, the other most damaged vehicle, from the back glass to the bumper. Virtually every car needed at least one of the body panels fixed. And you throw the hero in, Kevin Ridley, who actually was just a Tony Stewart remake during the winter. He got a job with SRX. He's the guy that spent 32 straight hours working on all the body panels. Definitely the hero of SRX, but that's the flavor throughout the entire crew. Racers putting in the hours, whatever it takes, to put that machine on the track, tip-top shape for you, the fan at home, to see all this great excitement. AB?
All right, Matt. Appreciate it. Mentioned Matt Hirschman is the local all-star tonight. He is a modified racer from Northampton, Pennsylvania, second-generation racer. And he got into this race by winning the Speedway's famed Spring Sizzler back at the end of April. They call him Money Matt because his family only enters races that pay big money. And look at his record this season. 23 starts, 15 wins.
Well, and to have him come in, and the guest drivers, when they come in to race SRX, they're excited. Yeah. They're excited because they're racing against the guys that they grew up watching.
And he'll give you a couple examples of that as the night goes on. All right, here's our format. 12-minute heat races. The main event will be 75 laps. It is Hailie Deegan in the blue car and Ryan Hunter-Reay in the black as this sellout crowd comes to its feet and the green flag waves at Stafford.
Deegan got a great start, and she's going to keep them up high and try to get off the corner, keep that momentum. Oh boy, Hunter-Reay got a great shot off two.
Ryan Hunter-Reay takes the lead as they come around to complete lap number 1. This is the visor cam from Hailie Deegan's helmet. This late in the day, that sunshine is a little bit of an issue. It'll sit down behind the hills to the far west of Stafford shortly. But I'll tell you, the way the weather forecasts have been for the last 48 hours, we are thrilled to see that sun. There were huge thunderstorms in this area, and they split the racetrack and went north and south of us. We haven't had a drop all day.
Well, I mean, we were prepared for a rain show, yeah. Right? And but driving into that sun, going into turn 1,
yeah.
Alan, it really, for one, your depth perception changes anyway.
Yeah.
During the day to the evening, things look farther away at night. Well, when you got that sun in your eye, it really makes it difficult.
Well, they're facing that challenge here as they race into turn 1. The orange car is Marco Andretti. That is Justin Marks in the red 99. Subbing for Elio Castroneves here due to a little schedule confusion. Elio's at the IndyCar race in mid-Ohio this weekend. Justin Marks, a racer himself, also the owner of Trackhouse Racing. 3 Cup Series wins already this year. He was thrilled to get a chance to race against his heroes at Stafford.
Well, I got to tell you, Marks is and he's learning these cars. He's a little bit different than what he's been driving, but you know, he'll make adjustments along the way, and he'll get quicker.
Let's check out with Matt Yoakum with more on Justin Marks.
And a lot can be said about the numbers. Now, Justin Marks, when you look at his racing resume, wins in NASCAR Xfinity. He's won in ARCA. He retired from driving to become a full-time Cup Series owner with his teammate, Pitbull. They purchased Chip Ganassi Racing, but he scored the number 99 because that was a special number to his Cup driver, Daniel Suarez, down in Mexico. That was his first go-kart number. They said, you know what, we love that. Let's go ahead and carry it on. And he's utilizing that number here tonight at Stafford.
Had a busy day, Matt. He started the day in Wisconsin qualifying his Trans Am car. Flew here to Stafford, got in an SRX car for the very first time. He'll fly back to Wisconsin for the Trans Am race tomorrow. And Daniel Suarez wishing the boss good luck on social media. So Ryan Hunter-Reay is out in front by about 3-4 car lengths over Hailie Deegan, another 3 or 4 back to Matt Hirschman.
You know, right now, the drivers, they're sort of getting in a groove, and they could be testing right now, right? They're not banging on each other yet, but what you want, the track is going to change as it gets cooler. the track is going to get more tight.
Trouble. Bobby Labonte had a big lockup going into 3. I don't know how he kept that out of the guardrail.
Bobby Cool Hand Labonte, I would expect that.
Wow, that was big. I mean, that car was facing right 45 degrees headed toward the wall, and he got it stopped. So Bobby falls back to the 11th position with just Tony Stewart behind him in 12th.
Well, and he got it turned around so fast, he hardly, you know, normally when you lose, when you spin, you're at the very back.
Yeah. All right, this is the first caution at just shy of the midway mark of our 12-minute heat race number 1. Close call for Bobby Labonte. Wow.
That was great.
Hockey terms, they play hockey up this way, you know, they call that a glove save and a beauty.
Watch him. He gets a little dirt, scrubs the speed off, and gets back on it again.
$5 for this. $5 for that. $5 for this. $5 for that. Go explore. There's so much to see. $5 a day gets you a new RV. $5 for this. Nah. Get outdoors and travel like me. $5 a day for a new RV.
Camp for less at Camping World.
Okay, this is a freezer, not a time capsule. Sometimes the house itself can tell you how a young homeowner is turning into their parents.
Not those two.
Yep, they're gone.
Forever?
Yep.
That there is Progressive's Home Quote Explorer website, where I compared home insurance rates.
We don't need to print the internet. Some are beyond help. I will give you $100 if you can tell me what this is.
Scotch egg.
It's a meatball.
Progressive can't help you from becoming your parents, but we can help you compare rates on home insurance with Home Quote Explorer.
We've got a lot of work to do.
Can I get it Mike's way?
What's happening?
And your free sub. Enjoy.
That was super weird.
Oh, that? Nah. She just used the Shore points you can now earn from chip and drink purchases to get free sub through the app. Download the Jersey Mike's app and earn rewards towards free subs with every sub, Pepsi, and Lay's you purchase.
Make way for the first ever Chevy Silverado CR2. With Multimatic shocks, rugged 33-inch tires, and front and rear electronic locking differentials.
Dude, this is awesome, but we should get back to work. This good? Perfect.
If you're going to work remote, work remote. Find new workspaces. Find new roads. Chevrolet.
Camping World SRX Series live at Stafford Speedway in Stafford Springs, Connecticut, under the first caution of our first heat race. Upon further review, looked like Bobby Labonte and Bill Elliott tangled there going into turn 3.
Yeah, Elliott, you know, it's hard to see out of the car.
Yeah.
Right? Very hard to see. So you could turn down, and there he is.
Well, good save by Bobby, who's already had kind of a tough week, Matt.
It has been tough for Bobby. When you go back to Wednesday night, he ran a Southern Modified down in North Carolina. A crash near the end. Now you can see that his wrist is wrapped on the right side, and I asked Bobby, you know, a lot of guys will either pull the steering wheel with their left hand or they'll push it more with their right. That's their technique. And I asked Bobby, because I'm a pusher with my right, my left hand, I could just hang it out the window and bring air in the car because it doesn't really do a whole lot. I use everything on my right hand. Willie, when you were driving so many times through the years, ever have an injury that you worked through? Because Bobby says it feels great when he's gripping the wheel. Anything else? It's a little bit gingerly uncomfortable.
Oh, I did. Last year at Eldora, Paul Tracy got me and Bill Elliott in the same race. And Elliott's wrist was hurt, and he bent my thumb so far back, I had to pull it out and readjust it myself.
Here they come to the restart. Bonnie back in 11th place. It's Hunter Ray in the black car and Haley Deegan in the blue car, side by side to turn 1. Hunter Ray squeezes out in front. Greg Biffle in the gold car, rolling the top, trying to get to the outside of Deegan. Deegan's able to shut that door off. Bill Elliott's getting knocked around. Paul Tracy went to the inside of him in the lime green car. Newman was outside of him. Good save by Elliott.
No, so far, clean, really clean.
Watch this, 3 wide to turn 1.
Well, yeah, 2.5.
Clunk. Good save.
You know, sometimes when you're in a sandwich like that,
yeah,
the outside car, when you start to spin, the outside car holds you in.
Saves you.
Yeah, saves you.
Tony Stewart, 14. Justin Marks, 99. Racing side by side. This is back for 10th and 11th. While Ryan Hunter-Reay continues to lead. Of course, Hunter-Reay tangling with Michael Waltrip in South Boston a week ago. When you think about what someone like Hunter-Reay is adjusting to, well, think about your experience a year ago in SRX, Willie. He comes to this from IndyCar racing, right? Now he's racing a car with fenders, a closed top, and there are no spotters to help the driver know where that traffic is around him.
Well, that's not just the problem, it's the weight. You know, it's a front engine car. The car is, what, 1,000, 2,000 pounds heavier nearly than an Indy car. So you got a lot of adjustments to make. Plus, he's on a bull ring. Now, I know he runs on ovals in an Indy car, but none of them are bull rings.
There is Michael Waltrip trying to get around Bill Elliott. That's back for 8th and 9th spot.
Oh, they got history. But one thing...
They got a lot of history, actually.
One thing that I noticed when I was racing, the stock car drivers, you could run inches all day long with them and race. IndyCar drivers, they were actually more aggressive.
You know, there's an element to it, I think. You take a guy that's used to running an open-wheel car, you put him in a car with fenders and bumpers, and he sees somebody else give that nudge to move the guy up the track. It's all right, well, that's how you got to do it here. I'll try it. Yep. And the experience to have the subtlety may not be there.
Well, it takes time.
Yeah.
You get subtle as the year goes on. You build up a bad reputation along the way, but you do get, you smooth it out.
Biggest mover in this race has been Paul Tracy going forward. Bill Elliott has a little contact for a second time. Oh yeah, look at that left front. That was Tony Stewart. And that front corner of Elliott's car is hurt.
You know, I was talking to a couple of the drivers, and the lead driver is Hunter-Reay. Hunter-Reay is in clean air right now. And every driver I talked to, Bubba Pollard at the first race, Paul Tracy, and they all said, in traffic, you see they're all single file racing each other. In traffic, the cars don't handle as good as the car out front. When you're out front in clean air, cars are way nicer, way easier to drive. You get in traffic, and you wouldn't think so. You wouldn't think it because you're not going 200 miles per hour. But just at the speed they're going, traffic flow and turbulence.
Here is the checkered flag for heat race number 1. And after getting turned around and twisted up last week at South Boston, Ryan Hunter-Reay has got himself a heat race victory.
He got his first gig win.
There you go. Hunter-Reay, Hailie Deegan, Greg Biffle, Marco Andretti, and Matt Hirschman, the top 5. Ryan Hunter-Reay came in a day early and took advantage of some optional practice laps yesterday to acclimate himself here to Stafford, and he has dominated this heat race number 1. We had a little clunking, a little banging, a couple body panels torn up, but in the end, pretty clean for heat work number 1.
Camping World SRX Series on CBS Sports is sponsored by Progressive. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. And by Camping World. Camp for less with Camping World.
I hope I can be that guy this year.
It is a superstar Saturday night in Stafford Springs, Connecticut. Let's take a look at the results From Heat 1, as we said, Ryan Hunter-Reay out there dominating that first heat, followed by Hailie Deegan, Greg Biffle, Marco Andretti, and Matt Hirschman, the local racer, rounding out the top 5. Marco Andretti made a decision to find more balance in his life. He calls it bringing the most out of life. He's the grandson of legendary racer Mario Andretti. Marco told me he is determined to win the Indy 500 in the next few years. But he made the decision to pull back from full-time racing, partly to take part in more entrepreneurial ventures. He invited us to a barbecue at his home in Nazareth, Pennsylvania, with his friends and family, the foundation of his life away from the track.
So this is all of your land?
Yeah, I have 10 acres, and then it actually borders my grandfather's. That orange roof is his house.
Who designed this home?
My mom and dad. So this is my childhood room from probably 97 to 01-ish. So I kept this identical to how when I moved out. It's a good idea to just literally leave it exactly how it was when I grew up.
What do you think it is about the comfort of this place that makes you just want to really be here?
You know, just my family, my friends, everything's here. It is about the small things here, and it is about what makes you happy. And I lived in Indy, I lived in Miami, and when I was there, I always miss Nazareth.
You've made a lot of changes on the professional tip, pulling back from full-time races. When you were about to make that decision, what did you expect?
I didn't care what to expect anymore. It was always like, what are people gonna say? What are they gonna think? I didn't care. You know, I think that's where I was like, nope. This is going to be because it's exactly what I want. Every race I'm in is because I absolutely want to be there. When I look at IndyCar, I feel I'm going to win the Indy 500, and I feel I'm going to put everything into that race still, as long as I'm able to do so.
There is a fire in your eye when you talk about winning that race.
Yeah.
Do you realize how much pressure you're putting on yourself, saying that you know you're going to go back 5 years and going to win that race?
You should be honored to carry that pressure, because I think it means you're playing for something big, and we are every time we are able to qualify for that race.
If someone watching SRX obviously knows who you are, how would you, Marco, want them to sum up what this story is for you right now?
I think just like having fun, living life, really just trying to do things my way. I think contentment, but still, it's going to want to kick your butt.
Marco Andretti wins at Slinger.
In terms of the connections in your life, how has that been to connect with friends and just live more?
I think I'm an introvert, but I'm an extrovert amongst my core group of friends. To me, that's where I relax. A cookout environment when a lot of people are around and I'm laughing and maybe taking my mind off of other things that might stress me out. These will start flaming up pretty soon.
If someone stumbled upon one of your barbecues out here, what would they find? What does that look like?
You'll probably just see a level of just relax and contentment, happy in my own skin type thing, and having fun with friends, wringing the most out of life.
Okay, man, I found my work.
Yes, that is Marco's grandfather flipping some chicken there for that barbecue, which he has once a week. His friends travel with him, too. They happen to be at this race. They're a great group of friends. We're talking about tomorrow as well, where we're back on the golf course at TPC Deer Run in Illinois for the John Deere Classic. Our live coverage begins at 3 Eastern, WGA Tour on CBS. There is a lot to explore at these race locations. No one knows that better than Willie T. Ribbs. Willie got a taste of something pretty unique only to this part of New England.
Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? Before Christopher Columbus got here, there was Stafford Mineral Springs. And I went down in there and I poured myself a glass. Apparently, it's the fountain of youth. I'm already feeling younger. Tell me about this.
The Native Americans believed that, they said it was enlivening. So, not sure. I guess it just made me feel better. John Adams came here in 1771 and drank of the waters, although he wasn't sure if the waters or just getting away made him feel better.
It's got a great taste. You can taste the minerals in it. And let me tell you what, I'll drink this all day long. Take 50 years off me. As a matter of fact, I will look like this before I leave here. This is right. My hair is going to come back. Everything is going to tighten up, all because of that trickle coming out of there right now. Cheers.
Oh, cheers, Willie T-Ribs. Don't exactly know how to follow. Oh, look at this. We got Willie out there in the crowd with the fans. All right, don't go away. We've got more action from Stafford Springs when we come back. You're watching Superstar Saturday Night on CBS. Welcome back to the Camping World SRX Series on CBS. There's a new face in the lineup tonight. NASCAR team owner Justin Marks of Trackhouse Racing, driving the 99. He's bringing the vibes of his winning 99 car to SRX. Matt, it seems to just fit Justin, doesn't it?
It fits him well, but when you look through the history of sport, there have been some stellar guys who have utilized that number on their jersey, especially Wayne Gretzky. 99, the great one. Also, I think Gordie Howe was the all-time great. But Aaron Judge for the Yankees, he also utilized it. Now, if I was going to sneak into the graphics truck, I would throw in Paul Goldsmith. He won 3 wins in Cup with 99. Greg Moore, Jeff Bodine, the old modified. So many great ones. Freddie Lorenzen in his comeback. That number is special. Hey, Billy, didn't you have a 99 for Gurney?
I had 99 when I raced for Gurney, and I couldn't take 99 home with me. When I did race for Gurney, I wanted to take it, but they said it stays here.
All right, well, 99 is lined up for this second heat race on the inside of row number 2. Flip the field from the finish of heat race number 1. So Bill Elliott and Bobby Labonte are on the front row as they come to green. 12 minutes on the clock, and we're racing again at Stafford.
Labonte got a really nice jump off turn 4, and Labonte's going to be, he hasn't won a main yet, and he's looking to win this weekend.
It's been awfully close. 5 straight top 5 finishes for Bobby Labonte. A little contact back there. Marco Andretti with a little nip on the left rear corner of the Paul Tracy car. You ride with PT. Ahead, Michael Waltrip looking to the inside of Ryan Newman. Waltrip in that royal blue car. Newman to his outside. 2 wide, turn 1. Andretti and Tracy with a little bump much behind them, but everybody gets away okay.
Bobby Cool Hand Labonte. And he's starting to put a little space in between him and, is that Deegan?
Second place is Bill Elliott.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Tony Stewart's 3rd, Justin Marks 4th, Michael Waltrip 5th, Ryan Newman is 6th. We saw Greg Biffle get Matt Hirschman a little sideways coming off of turn number 4. That's Biff in the gold car, Hirschman in the patriotic color. And this is from Haley Deegan's visor cam.
You watch her work that steering wheel, right? And all she's trying to do is get the front and the rear to balance with each other. Don't spin those rear tires center to exit. Just keep.
That's Biffle and Hirschman that I mentioned a minute ago. All right.
That was some contact there.
That's the difference between Robbins racing and knock you around.
Yep. Yep.
So Bobby Labonte leads. Yeah. Bobby Labonte leads. Talked about Bobby had his hands full. Of course, Matt told you the story in a crash on Wednesday night in his modified at Caraway Speedway in North Carolina. Spent most of the night at the emergency room getting all the x-rays and things done, nothing broken and so on. But he's racing with that hurt right hand here at Stafford tonight.
He's leading the race. He feels no pain.
That's for
when
sure.
When you're out front, you don't feel any pain. All you see is trying to win that thing.
Just behind them, it's Bill Elliott and Tony Stewart. There's Elliott in purple and Tony Stewart in red. Michael Waltrip behind them in 4th. Checking our Whoop Live telemetry. Bobby Labonte. Want to burn some calories? Jump in a race car. It'll do it.
if you want to lose LBs fast, get in one of those things. Last year, I was losing 5 to 6 pounds every race.
Every SRX race.
Every race. I was so skinny, I looked like Twiggy when the season was over.
You've never looked like Twiggy. Paul Tracy, just a little nip on the back bumper of Ryan Newman to pick up a spot. So PT up to 6th and Newman back to 7th. Remember, the SRX crew had to basically completely rebuild Tracy's car after a rough Saturday night in South Boston, Virginia a week ago.
Well, you and I were at the drivers' meeting. You heard what Don Hawk said. You guys are going to have to work on your own cars if you keep beating them up.
I don't know that I heard Don say that tonight as the caution flag comes out as we approach the midway point of this heat, but I understand the theory behind that.
Well, I'm sure he was thinking that.
Stop tearing up my cars. Isn't that what Tony Stewart said last week? Well, that's Robbins racing, but not torn up. Midway through heat race number 2 tonight here in Connecticut.
Our passion for protecting vehicles started in 1934. And we've been pushing the limits of performance ever since. We innovate with the times and have the trusted filters to fit your needs. Yeah, we've been around the block, but our journey is just beginning. Fram for the road ahead. Find Fram filters at your nearest Walmart.
So, people can get a free Samsung Galaxy S22 when they trade in a Galaxy. Any year, any condition.
Oh, I get it. So you can take your old phone you've had for 12 years and loved every minute of and trade it in for something new that suits your life now?
That's right, yeah.
Then enjoy immediate success, even though you'll never forget your old phone, ever.
It's a great trade.
Life-changing.
Get a free Samsung Galaxy S22 with any Galaxy trade-in. Any year, any condition. Only at AT&T.
Get up, get moving, and gradually reduce grays the easiest way. Just step into the shower with Just For Men Control GX shampoo. The first and only shampoo that blends away a little gray with every wash for a subtle, natural look. Control GX from Just For Men.
Order from the Sonic app for a slush, tots, and free cheeseburger.
I'm on the slush.
Making the cheeseburger. Order ready.
Sonic Rewards. Get a free cheeseburger with any app purchase.
The mountains or the seashore? Into the city or far from it? You and all your friends or just you and the open sky? The experiences we never forget come from the choices we make, including this one, the Wagoneer or the Grand Wagoneer. Grand Adventures. The choice is yours.
Right behind me, you see those roller coasters? That used to be Riverside Park Raceway, which was little brother to Stafford Speedway. In 1949, they built a racetrack there because the dance hall burnt down. You know, I was just over at Riverside Park, right? Watching the roller coasters. Tell me about what it was in those days.
The fact of the matter is that once Riverside Park, which before it became Six Flags, was the center of speed for Saturday night racing. There's no question about it. It was one of the most unique quarter-mile racetracks in the country.
Ben Dodge, a New England racing treasure, sitting in the announce booth two doors down to our left. And Riverside Park was an amazing atmosphere, right? Amusement park on the Midway during intermission. Modified racing by the river at night. It was awesome. Here they come back to the green flag as Bobby Labonte with Bill Elliott to his outside has led his first laps in SRX competition. As steady and as solid as he's been this heat race, for the first time Bobby's been out in front of an SRX race. He's got Bill Elliott trying to hang tough to his outside now.
Oh, Elliott got a good run. Uh-oh, here comes Tony Stewart.
Stewart in red, rolling on the bottom. He'll get second from Elliott.
And Tony, in that first heat, he just kept getting stronger and stronger. And that's Tony Stewart. I mean, He can run like a machine. He's just a robot driving the car, and he doesn't make any mistakes. He's smooth. He doesn't beat the tires up, and he'll let the race come to him.
Stewart now chasing Labonte in second. You saw Michael Waltrip get by Bill Elliott. Paul Tracy just did also. Now Marco Andretti trying to follow PT through the bottom lane. That's Marco in orange.
You know, this heat, the second heat, is how you finish, is how you're going to start the main.
So it's the average of the two heat finishes, right?
Right.
So
right.
It's important if you were toward the back of the first one. You push your way through.
You want to get to the front, so you get a good starting spot for the main.
Watch the white gloves in PT's car. There's Marco also with white gloves there.
Well, you know, they wore those white gloves for us.
Yeah.
You know, Michael Jackson used to wear white gloves in the concert.
Was that for us too?
That was, so you could actually see those hands move.
I just want to know if drinking some of that spring water's made the hair grow on your head again yet. Just checking. You got that hat on. I can't see.
It worked.
Okay. You knew I wasn't going to let that go. Come on. Stewart trying to chase down Labonte. Talked to Tony about his busy schedule. He's been, there's Ryan Newman on Bill Elliott. This would be for 6th position. Bill struggling a little bit with the handling of that 9 car. Greg Biffle will try and follow him through. That's a close-up view of a fender crunch.
You know, I'd like to have a counter, and I would like to do a counter for every time the drivers bump each other, right? Whether front, rear, sideways, and whoever bumps the most wins an award, the bumper award, right? But you can't take the guy out; you just bump.
Or they may win the right, like you said earlier, to build their own race car back again.
Okay, spoiler.
Well, you know. Top 3 as we get down to the final minute of heat race number 2. So let's see. Labonte finished 11th in heat race 1. Stewart finished 9th and in position here in 2nd. He may be in pretty good shape. I'll tell you who's going to have a great starting spot in the main is Paul Tracy. Finished 6th in the first race. He's running 4th now.
The beer baron, Michael Waltrip. He's working. He is really pretty strong on Stewart.
That's Waltrip in the blue car running in 3rd place. Final lap, heat race number 2 here at Stafford Motor Speedway tonight. Labonte in white, Stewart in red. Enough room for smoke to make a last corner lunge? No, and Bobby Labonte gets his heat race win tonight. Bandaged hand and all. Labonte came up to Stafford, ran his modified in the track's famed Spring Sizzler at the end of April. Kind of got knocked around a little bit that day, but tonight, despite the bruised up hand, he's having a fine night tonight here at Stafford. First SRX win, right? Heat or main. Labonte, the winner, and the main event next.
Camping World has never been more affordable. Let Camping World show you how to camp for less this summer.
Welcome back to a Superstar Saturday night. The superstar of Heat 2 was Bobby Labonte winning that heat. Here's a look at the rest of your results. Tony Stewart charging up there, but it was Bobby Labonte who was cool as a cucumber in this one. He is standing by with Matt Yoakum. Yoakum?
Well, a year ago, he almost won here at Stafford. You finished 2nd in a heat race. You ended up finishing 5th. History tonight. You led your first SRX lap, your first heat win. Now you got to put it all together and keep everybody behind you for the feature.
Yeah. This is my first time I've led.
Your first time that you have. I double-checked it this afternoon when I saw that. So there's no way.
I know it, man. Oh, man. So, yeah, I mean, obviously to do that, I pulled that off with a slide through the grass. And
which was very, very cool.
Yeah, slide through the grass and stop up there in 3 and 4, downshift a couple of times. And Chris Fosberg would have been proud of me. Maybe needed to slide a little bit more. But, man, I didn't want to be there, obviously, trying to pass Bill and, just took front end off. And then, just trying to get back there. But, the car, I thought for sure I might have flat spotted the tires, but maybe I didn't. So, just, clean air is a little bit, is key. I don't know where that'll put us in the heat, right, in the feature. So we got our work cut out for us, but I'm excited that I feel like what I know my car is going to do now. So I've got a little sheet of paper. We got some air pressures, and I'll look at that, and we'll make some adjustments as we go.
All right, well, good luck. Bobby Labonte trying to score a feature win here in SRX. And you know what? When you think about celebrations, and a lot of times it centers around beer. And Michael Waltrip, it's almost like he's living a Tom T. Hall song, I Like Beer, because he and his buddies were sitting around and said, you know what? What goes into beer? And then it led to something you're just not going to believe.
Welcome to Bristol, one of the coolest cities in all of racing. And I've had some great memories here. I won races, I got engaged once, almost got killed. But the biggest decision about Bristol was, where do I put my brewery? Do I put it in Tennessee or do I put it in Virginia? We picked Virginia. Come with me and we'll take a look. Saturday in the park. What took you so long? I thought you'd never call. Thank you. Thank you. Any requests? Anyone? This is the birthplace of Country Music Hall of Fame. You can get very cultured in this little town. So much fun to do in Bristol. We got rhythm and roots here, and what goes better with country music than cold beer? Let's go have a beer.
Me and a couple buddies were drinking some wine out in Sonoma and said, why don't we drink more beer? We got to drinking some beers and wondered, what all goes into having a beer. We said, well, that sounds like fun. We came up with all the ingredients and the flavors and the different styles and had our brewmaster friend make some of it for us.
Here's where we make the good times roll. Michael Waltrip Brewing now. Really diving into what's being brewed right now and the temperatures. I'm allowed to read the gauges, but they really won't let me touch anything in here yet. This is a 3 Ranges Appalachian Ale. And look at that. This baby's hopped up. Look at all these tanks. Look at all this equipment. We're state of the art. We got everything it takes to make great beer. We're making it every day. There is one thing I'm allowed to do. Make deliveries. Daddy's back behind the wheel. Jack, where's the key?
I'm really proud of this place. It's a beautiful old building. The beer is great, the food's great, and the atmosphere is very friendly and welcoming.
The only BS I need is Bristol sunshine.
Yeah, there you go.
Come on over.
People love visiting us, and I really want people to come through that door and feel like they know me better because they were able to visit our brewery.
Friendly and welcoming. That's just how you describe him. Oh, check this out. His helmet with the beer on the helmet. By the way, Michael Waltrip has a fantastic new haircut, so that helmet is obviously covering that when he's in that race car. We have a poll for you that we're asking people to weigh in on Twitter. Who's going to win the main event? Just visit twitter.com/SRX Racing to vote. Voting is still open, but again, who do you think is going to win the main event, which is coming up just a few moments from now? But right now, Matt Yoakum is standing by with another driver. Who do you have?
I think Paul Tracy's fan club certainly knocking down a few votes after that run through Heat 1 and Heat 2. Probably the biggest movers. So sizing up the main, is the track like a year ago, or is it different? Because you'd think coming back, you'd have so much more experience and comfort.
Well, the track is totally different than it was last year. It's a lot hotter than it was last year, and there's a lot, the rubber, for whatever reason, from the modifieds is a lot different. But I tell you what, the odds checker cars felt the best I've felt in this race. The first 2 races were a struggle. It feels good tonight. I was able to race with Smoke, race with Newman, race with a lot of big champions, and I felt like I was finally driving the car to its potential. So I'm looking forward to the main. The car feels good.
All right, well, Bobby Labonte made history, Lindsay, scoring his heat win and leading laps. Maybe PT takes home a trophy here from Stafford.
Thanks, Joachim. Speaking of history, you know, this track was designed to really showcase the area's agricultural heritage. In fact, they had horse races that were held here at one point, but now it's motorsports that are king. That is true, and there's one family who's making sure they bring the best show in town every weekend. Here's more in Progressive at the track.
Those who are interested in how successful racetracks are run, the Arute name surely has to come up somewhere along the line. The Arute family is definitely racing royalty.
The Arute family has been continuously operating the track for 50+ years now. There's really not any tracks, at least in New England, that have been owned by the same person even for that long. My grandfather bought it in 1970 with really no experience in owning a track at all. Updated the place, put up stands, really brought the track to a new era. Eventually, my dad, Mark, took over the reins in like the mid-'80s and really laid the foundation to kind of bring the track, you know, all the way to 2022, which is pretty incredible.
You look at racing in general across the country, it's very transitory. We're fortunate because we're fans, but first and foremost, it needs to run as a business.
Stafford Speedway is pretty much everything to our family. Now we have our 3rd generation with our 2 sons, Paul and David, so it is everything to us.
All 4 of us have our own parts of the track that we take care of. It kind of is no specific roles, it's just whatever has to get done, that's what I'm here for.
Titles are kind of irrelevant. We kind of all do everything from picking up trash to cutting the grass to figuring out the schedule. If you grow up at a speedway your whole life, it's what you do. You're doing it from my entire life, and I can't imagine any other way.
I think what's really important is Stafford Speedway has got a very bright future. This racetrack is going to be around for a very, very long time. And that's the Arute family that's making that happen.
Every year we have major improvements. Each year we think, what is going to be the next step that raises the bar that much more?
We have a pretty steadfast direction. There's a lot of people that, you know, look to us for advice. I think we have a good reputation.
I think we want to be remembered as producing really quality events that people just have on the calendar that they can't miss. And our goal is always to be the best track in the country, and that's what we try to do every day.
I'm with Jack Arute III, and we've known each other almost 40 years. He was interviewing me when I was a skinny guy, and you told me just now that you started as a flagman at 14 here, because your family's had this for 60 years, and you were announcing at 15.
Yeah, I was the starter here before my dad bought the racetrack, and I made the mistake at breakfast one morning to tell him I thought his announcer sucked. And he said, well, if you think you can do any better, go back upstairs. I had to take a pay cut to become an announcer. I think after 50 years in the industry, I got even, though.
You took a pay cut? Well, they were already paying you $1 million.
$1 a year for 1 million years. Yeah.
Love you, babe.
Love you, too.
Thank you so much, Willie T. Here's the Arute Tower that you're looking at, suites where fans can watch the race at close view. Coming up, you got a behind-the-scenes look at how Marco Andretti spends his time at home. Well, that includes some special time with his grandfather. We got to sit down with both of them from a revealing conversation. More on that next.
2 years in the making, the superstar racing experience is green.
I mean, last year with the first season, it was something just fresh. It was fun, grassroots racing. And I was thinking over the winter, I was like, I got to get my foot in the door here. Hawk gave me a ring and said, hey, do you want to be a part of this? And there was no hesitation. I was like, absolutely, this sounds amazing.
Well, it was special to get an invitation to do something as elite as this. I mean, you look at the names of the drivers, and it's pretty special. I'm happy to be a part of it, happy to experience it.
pretty neat. You know, the big picture was getting an opportunity to run in the SRX series. So for them to call you was just amazing. I mean, it's something you always dream of.
SRX is world-renowned drivers, you know, the best of the best. And then for short track guys to have the opportunity to dip in there and show their talents with these guys and just be a part of it is a really special opportunity. And when I saw Doug Coby last year win that thing.
What a dream come true. Doug Coby wins at Stafford.
He's standing up there on that podium for all of short track racing.
SRX, truly a combo platter for the fan. Not only does it introduce a bull ring somewhere across America, but it also showcases a grassroots racer. And you're only allowed to be the first time, one time, and that was Doug Coby, a modified legend up here in the Northeast. You won the very first SRX race, and you represented 1 million short track racers all across America. When you look back to that memory that night, what's the biggest thing that you take away?
I think the biggest thing to take away from SRX is showcasing the short tracks to local racers, all the little kids who start racing quarter midgets at age 5 at Silver City Quarter Midget Club, where the Eastern Grands are coming in 2 weeks here in July. To come up in quarter midgets and then come race at a short track like Stafford, and then to have a series like SRX showcase my home track on national television, to have an opportunity to race against all these superstars, that's kind of what you dream of as a short tracker. And I carried the torch the first time, and hoping for more short trackers to get opportunities and win like I did last year, and pulling for Big Money Matt tonight. Hopefully he pulls it off.
So he's pulling for Hirschman, another modified legend here tonight. When you look at this weekend, it's Independence Weekend. It's certainly full of celebration. A year ago, we learned how Tony Kanaan came to the country, didn't even speak English, learned it by listening to country music. And when you look back to Lindsay Zarniak, she spent some time with an auto racing legend, Mario Andretti, and his grandson, Marco, and really learning what it means to come to America.
You know, the thing, Joachim, is that anytime you get to talk to Juan Andretti, it's cool. But sitting with both of them, the thing that I took away is, you know, they're neighbors. So not only is it funny hearing stories about how competitive they are with one another, but ultimately they're grandfather and grandson. And it was really special to have the time to see how much respect there is between the two of them.
Is it time to open a little vino?
Yes, please. Thank you. How do you have time to do this? You do so much.
You know, you have to take time to enjoy your life, obviously, and that's what makes you even enjoy your work. As a matter of fact, I don't feel like I worked a day in my life because I always look forward to going to work. When I was still living in Italy, as a young lad, just barely a teenager, fell in love with motorsports. I was given that opportunity by coming to America, you know, that this was the true land of opportunity. And I always say that it's actually an anniversary. Is 67 years ago is when we landed here, when we arrived here.
Yeah, I just saw that poster.
Cheers to that.
Yeah,
67 years.
67 years ago,
Happy anniversary.
1955, yeah.
When you came here.
We came here with, on a ship, the Conte Biancamano, and 5 in the morning, we're just cruising just by the Statue of Liberty. And my older sister, Anna Maria, was up there. She learned the American national anthem. We were at the bow of the boat. She's bellowing away the American national anthem. I said, here we are. The land of opportunity, yeah. And I'm the true example of the American dream.
So why Nazareth? Why did this become the place?
Well, because here we had an uncle that you had to have someone that would guarantee, to obtain visas, to guarantee that you would have a job or something like that.
Like
you
a
would have a home sponsor.
Okay.
And he was the one, and he lived here. And again, and here it is. You know, we arrived here. I married a local beautiful girl here and raised a family.
Do you guys get competitive with each other? And don't say no, because I won't believe you.
For sure.
I'll tell the truth.
I mean, yeah. As a family, we've always been. I mean, that's what it's about.
I remember getting on the plane after
you know, if Dad would beat him or he'd beat Dad. There was no talking. It was really quiet a lot of times home on the way home.
For a while.
Even though one of them won the race, it was still a quiet flight home.
Are you serious?
My wife was the one that says, Mario, it's your son. Yeah, I know.
He said he doesn't care.
Be happy for him, right? It's okay. What makes you most proud of this guy, of Marco?
Just the fact that he could choose. He chose to pursue something that, you know, we love so much. And he says, he called me no, you know. No, this is what I want to do. And I says, Marco, you're the man. It's your life. And that's what life is about, if you can do that. And so he's blessed in his own ways. And as a family, the legacy continues, you know, and this is the third generation.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
And certainly Mario would be very proud of Marco on the pole, getting ready for the main event, 4th of July week in this beloved track. What do you have for him in this main event, Marco?
To be honest, I don't know. I mean, I'm still haven't taken a liking to this place. You know, as far as my style goes, I was a little too tight there. It wasn't turning for me in the center. So hopefully we liven the front up for me a little bit, so I could try to stay out front. But I know there's a lot of quick guys behind me. We'll see.
All right, he's on the pole. They're ready to go. You know, Willie T. Ribbs has been looking for the fountain of youth for quite a while. Willie, what have you found?
I found a young man who's 13 named Connor, and not Connor Daly, another Connor, and he's got a fat head, and I've been called a lot of things, but not a fat head. And of all the people here, and there's over 10,000, he ended up with it. Tell me, how did you get that?
I don't know, man. Somebody from the CBS team just handed it to me, said wave it around while they're going around the track.
So CBS is selling me, or selling fatheads?
I guess.
With my picture on it?
I guess, man.
And you got it?
Sure did.
How much did you have to pay for it?
$0. Nothing. They just handed it to me, man.
Wow. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
When I tell them I'm going fishing, they picture, you know.
Wow, is all I can say. The Challenge USA is coming to CBS. 28 reality show legends from Big Brother, Survivor, Love Island, and The Amazing Race compete to see who has what it takes to be America's best. The Challenge USA, Wednesday, July 6th, after Big Brother on CBS. We're just getting ready to crank these engines and get started on the main event. Look at this. These fans are so great, doing the wave. We're coming back right after this on a holiday weekend in Stafford Springs, Connecticut. More racing when we come back.
I'm here in the Professional Basketball Hall of Fame. Man, what a place.
Yeah. So it's the birthplace of basketball, and it's one of the gems of the city.
You know, not only is Michael Jordan in the Hall of Fame, but he's also a NASCAR team owner.
Well, every sport has, you know, that Mount Rushmore. I mean, basketball starts with Michael Jordan.
Well, and he definitely took it worldwide.
Basketball is depending on how you measure it, could be one of the most popular sports in the whole world. Just to me, it mirrors what the world wants right now, and that's a lot of action, very fast. I know you can appreciate fast.
No, it's cheaper than ours. I think my parents would have rather seen me spend the family money buying basketballs than going to Europe driving race cars.
All right, Willie T, we can work on that. Don't worry, no problem. Hey, this week we continued our trek up the East Coast from Virginia to New England. Next week, we're putting on the boots and taking the series to our second repeat track this season. Music City gearing up for the return of SRX. 2 dirt tracks then remaining as we go racing out west and wrapping things up in Sharon. To end. Next Saturday night, we race at the Nashville Fairgrounds. So much fun as the venue tucked right in the heart of this city. We asked you earlier for your opinion. Who did you think was going to win the main event? These are the results so far. A lot of you guys think Tony Stewart is going to come out to take the edge in this one, but second most is Bobby Labonte, followed by, interesting, a tie, right? Hunter Ray and Paul Tracy. I wonder what Michael Waltrip has to say about that. Time now to get to Alan Bestwick and Willie T. Ribbs as we're getting ready to start the main event. Guys, what will you be looking for when they fire up those engines again?
Yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting, because this now is 75 laps. So there's going to be an element of self-preservation in this also.
You think so?
I do think so.
Well, I tell you what, the first 2 heats were tame, but in the main event, that's for all the marbles. So I expect it to get a little bit rougher.
So in our first 2 heat races, Bobby Labonte and Ryan Hunter-Reay got their first heat race wins in SRX competition. The former Indy 500 winner will line up for the main event in 6th position. Willie's going to talk to him.
Ryan Hunter-Reay, come in. Ryan Hunter-Reay, come in.
What's that?
It's Willie T, and congratulations on your first win in SRX. This is your 3rd gig, and you won the heat. How you feel about going into the main show?
Yeah, what's up, Willie T? Yeah, the car was great out front. Really settled into a good rhythm. Out back, just fighting there on the outside. Just pressure's got too high again, so just going to have to watch out for that. We made a little bit of an adjustment there, so hopefully can settle into a good rhythm here and try and be there for the last 50 to 20.
All right. Keep the hammer down, babe.
Ryan Hunter-Reay is going to line up in 6th position. Remember, the average finishing position in the 2 heat races determines our main event starting lineup. So our progressive race summary: Ryan Hunter-Reay led the first laps in his SRX career. Won heat race number 1. Bobby Labonte, first SRX laps led. Won heat number 2. We've had no cautions for incidents tonight.
I'm shocked.
Yes or no on the main event? Cautions for incidents?
Is fat meat greasy?
I take that to be a yes. So Marco Andretti and Paul Tracy will line up in row number 1. And Greg Biffle, Michael Waltrip in row 2. As the field gets the signal in 1 more lap, we will start the main event. Vote for your driver of the night. Twitter.com/SRX Racing to vote. You got a little time if you want to see how this race starts to begin to unfold, but we'd sure like to hear from you before it's done. Man, what a scene tonight here in Connecticut. Threatening weather all day, completely avoided the racetrack. A sellout crowd here at one of the showplace short tracks in all of the United States. These fans have been enthusiastic, they've been into it, and they're about to see the start of the main event. 75 laps.
This has been a party for the fans here at Stafford, Alan. They're just crazy. They love it.
Green flag, and we're underway. It's Tracy in lime green and Andretti in orange, side by side to turn 1.
Andretti, good pop off turn 2, and good shot down the back straight.
Marco Andretti will get the lead. Greg Biffle will slide through to 2nd. Tracy tapping the brakes to get down and protect that low lane. Then it's Tony Stewart inside of Michael Waltrip for 4th and 5th.
You know, I've always called Marco Jet Set. You know, he does own a jet company. Marco Jet Set Andretti, and he did jet off a good start.
Ryan Hunter-Reay trying to protect over Hailie Deegan just behind them. Look at this scene tonight here in Connecticut. On board with Hunter-Reay.
Boy, Biffle is strong. Look at Biffle come off 4.
Greg Biffle with a look inside Marco Andretti for the race lead. Andretti held him off. Biffle got a nip on the back bumper, but you could see how hard he was standing on the brakes to keep from turning Marco around.
You know, I watched these guys. This is our 9th.
That's off turn 4.
Yeah, and that's what they, you know, that's what you do. That's what you do. But I watch Marco, and Marco, this is his 9th race. This is our 9th show. And I got to tell you, he just keeps getting smooth. You don't rattle him. You can't rattle Marco. He'll just, you can hit him, half spin him. He just doesn't get rattled.
Talked to him earlier today after the frustrating night he had at South Boston. He said, you know, you wanted to get out of the car and get mad and throw something. And then he said, then I just started laughing and said, this is so much fun. So Andretti is the leader by about, make it 8 car lengths over Greg Biffle, who is up to the 2nd position. Biffle driving the gold car. Let's check with Matt Yoakum on the Biff.
A year ago, he won a heat race, almost won the main event, led 49 laps for the night. But when you walk through the field, when they were down here on pit lane, Biffle's car was the one that had the most significant damage. A big crack in the right front fender. They put a big piece of bear bond, which is like a huge piece of duct tape, to try to seal that off. He said the car got tight after that, some adjustments, but 11 of the 12 cars had some type of donut of the car. The only car that was totally clean, the blue 5 right there, Hailie Deegan.
Now Deegan fighting for 7th position with Ryan Newman there, giving it up as Newman is able to squeeze by.
I love seeing Hailie. I call her the Deegs, right? I love the Deegs. She will race. She'll race tooth and nail with you. And I love watching her out here battling the boys.
Being the 20-year-old from California, ran 3 SRX races a year ago. Finished 2nd, remember, to Tony Stewart on the dirt in Knoxville, Tennessee, Knoxville, Iowa. I almost made that mistake. Can you believe that? Knoxville, Iowa, thank you. But gives up a spot to Bobby Labonte there.
Well, and you know, we're early. We've competed, 9 laps out of 10 laps now out of 75. They're just biding their time. The last 15 to 20 laps is where you're going to see get down to the get down.
It'll get a little more physical the closer you get to that checkered flag, for sure. There's the onboard telemetry. That is from Ryan Newman's car. Here's for the race lead. Greg Biffle in gold, looking inside of Marco Andretti. You see at the very bottom of that left rear corner of the Andretti car, the damage from when he and Biffle got together earlier. Here's Biffle with another look again.
Oh yeah, and there's more damage. Right. The insurance adjuster will be there after the race.
And Tony Stewart lurking right there. Couldn't stick to the bottom.
Oh, baby.
Andretti back the inside of Biffle. And these fans roar as he moves him out of the way to get the lead back. Stewart now inside of Biffle for 2nd.
See what, you know what happens, Alan? You get lifted up, and then the guy that was in 3rd is all of a sudden right next to you. And
he's not in 3rd anymore.
Yeah. And Stewart will pick you. He spots that. He spots it before it even happens.
He bounces so quickly, doesn't he? So there's Biffle in gold, Paul Tracy in the bright green, and Michael Waltrip running 5th. Look at this tweet from Ernie Francis Jr. Remember last week with the confrontation between Stewart and Ernie? That's terrific. Well done, EFJ. Ernie up at Mid-Ohio getting ready to race his Indy Watch car for the Force Indy team tomorrow. Here's Stewart with a look underneath and ready for the race lead. And Tony Stewart goes out in front at Stafford.
You know, I was watching Tony Stewart's in-car camera at the last race in Virginia. He hardly moves his hands. He has got very soft hands. You know, he's not muscling the car. He's not muscling it on entry, and he's not going opposite lock on exit. Just smooth. And when you got smooth hands like that, the tires are going to be good. It keeps the tires underneath you.
And that will be a factor in this race tonight, is having some life left in him at the end of 75 laps. Here's Andretti looking back inside of Tony Stewart while we check in on Paul Tracy and our Whoop Live telemetry.
Yeah.
Marco in orange, Stewart in red.
That's what we came to see tonight. Side by side, back and forth.
Two guys, good friends, both very competitive. We saw a great glimpse into Marco Andretti and his life, the why he's doing this. Well, Tony, you know why he's doing this. He just loves to race anything, anywhere. So you look ahead from Greg Biffle. Tony ran a race on Tuesday night at the county fair track where he lives around Columbus, Indiana. A race he promoted, quarter-mile dirt track. He won the race. His 84-year-old dad, Nelson, ran the race also.
His dad got him into the sport. I saw pictures of Tony when he could barely walk in a go-kart, you know, and his dad supported it. His dad pushed him and gave him what it took to put him where he is now. And Tony, he can drive anything. He can drive dirt. He can drive ovals, bull rings, super speedway, IndyCar. Tony Stewart is a race driver's race driver.
He's gone from racing for the lead, now back to third place as Greg Biffle got back around Stewart and picked up second.
Still, we're 23 laps in. Still clean. But Alan, they don't want to beat they don't want to beat the car up. They don't want to beat the front tires up, and they don't want to kill the rears coming off. So I think everyone is just playing possum right now.
First side-by-side is Ryan Newman working inside of Ryan Hunter-Ray. They go to turn 3, wheel-to-wheel. And Newman will pick up that spot, that 6th position for Ryan Newman. He's picked up 3 spots since the start of the main event. Bobby Labonte trying to follow through on the bottom side. Bobby finished 11th in heat race 1 and won heat race 2, so the combination of that put him a little thick in the pack. You see, started 8th for our main event.
I want for the fans watching on TV, just listen to how they roll power on and how they roll off and sort of glide through the corner. See how they're gliding off the throttle? And as they get right about there, they start rolling the power back on, right? Every lap. You want to do that every lap.
Good look at the digital dashboard that's in front of the drivers in all of these SRX cars.
You know, I was watching Haley's hands just now. She's a little bit loose coming off the corner. You can see her hands go opposite.
What you're saying is turning right on a paved track is not the thing you want to do?
Well, no. And so, see, she's working that steering wheel.
There's the local wall. Go ahead, sorry.
And the reason she's working that wheel is she's trying to pick up the power as soon as she can. And the car wants to slide, so she's catching it. She's catching it all the way through the corner.
Tony Stewart trying to regroup here in that red car. See if he can get a run on Greg Biffle for second. This is on board the race leader, Marco Andretti.
You know, Marco knows how to win. You know, he won at Slinger and won the main event. That's all you need to do is win one of these, and your confidence is bigger than when you got there.
Yeah, talked with Marco about that. I think I told the story last week in South Boston about what that win at Slinger meant to him. He said, I said, did it mean something? It's not an IndyCar race. He said, yeah, it did, because look at these guys I'm racing against. You told me I can still get it done. Here's the summary on Marco Andretti tonight. He is the race leader as we come up on the midway point of our main event tonight. Stewart sneaking in on Biffle again.
You know what's impressive is see the brake rotors glowing.
Smoke from the slam to the inside of Biffle.
You know, I was talking to Randy LaJoy, and he was telling me, he says that when those brake rotors get real hot on the front, it actually makes the car, it rises the tire temperature in the right front side. The tires actually get warmer. The right front tire, which it causes to be tight.
Caution flag is out, shy of the midway point of our main event tonight here at Stafford. Been a fun one so far. And we've still got a lot of racing to go. The sellout crowd enjoying their Saturday nights with the superstars.
Verizon just gave us all a brand new iPhone 13.
We've been customers for years. I thought new phones were for new customers. We got iPhone 13s too, switched to Verizon 2 minutes ago.
Ours were busted, and we still got a shiny new one.
Check it out. So wait, everybody gets the same great deal.
I think that's the point.
Now everyone can get a new iPhone 13 on us on America's most reliable 5G network.
Can I have a phone?
For every customer, current, new, everyone. To show the love.
The loyal order of riders.
Riders, let your queries be known.
How come we don't call ourselves bikers anymore? I mean, riders is cool, but bikers, really cool.
Seriously?
Deny. Can we go back to meeting at the rec center? The commute here is brutal.
Deny.
How do you feel about getting a quote to see if we can save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer?
Should Flo stop asking the same question every time?
Approved.
Denied!
Whoa.
This is Maya Titan. She's smiling because her small culinary supply store, Titan's Pans, is up and running. And this is NFL star Derrick Henry, accidentally tagging Titan's Pans instead of his loyal fans. Which, very unexpectedly, has her business trending. And trending, and trending, and oh my. And there goes the internet. Good thing Maya uses FedEx to help prepare for unexpected demand, because you never know what's next.
This is John. He hasn't worked this hard to only get this far with his cholesterol. Taken with a statin, Leqvio can lower bad cholesterol and keep it low with 2 doses a year. Side effects were injection site reaction, joint pain, urinary tract infection, diarrhea, chest cold, pain in legs or arms, and shortness of breath. With Leqvio, lowering cholesterol becomes just one more thing life throws your way. Ask your doctor about Leqvio. Lower, longer, Leqvio.
The Camping World SRX Series live at Stafford Motor Speedway in Stafford Springs, Connecticut. Halfway through our main event tonight. Hey, Beavis and Butthead are back. Witness the dumbest science fiction movie ever made. Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe. Now streaming exclusively on Paramount+. Well, a sellout crowd tonight here in Connecticut. We've dodged weather all day. Hopefully that continues all the way through the checkered flag tonight. They're doubling up for the restart with Marco Andretti and Tony Stewart going back and forth. This beautiful racetrack known for its modified racing. Some big stars that you are well familiar with if you're a racing fan. What is that? Stewart's trying to push the door of the pace car closed. What is that?
That was not planned.
No.
That was not planned.
I have no words. And I'm paid to have words, and I have no words.
Maybe they're trying to, maybe it's hot in the car, and they're trying to get air in there.
I could fly the drone right in the open door. I mean, come on. Let's go back racing. Andretti in orange, Stewart in red, Biffle in gold, Waltrip in the light blue. Big bottleneck on the back straightaway while these two guys go side by side for the race lead. Everybody got away okay. We stay under green.
You know, a lot of times during a race, Alan, you know, you get focused on the top 2 or 3 guys, but out in the middle of the race, in the center, you got some real, and those guys are trying to get to where the guys are at the front. So they're driving actually a little bit more aggressive in the center of the race than at the front. They're staying smooth there, but these guys, they got to take a little bit more risk on tires and driving in a little bit harder, and you know you're going to be running a little closer.
Can't look away from this race for the lead. Biffle going to go 3 wide. Just slides back inside of Marco Andretti, but Biffle poked the nose to make it 3 wide for the race lead. Michael Waltrip's car is missing its left front fender, much of it. Michael's dropped back to 8th spot. That is a look at it.
Greg Biffle is just watching what Andretti and Stewart are doing. And if one of them makes a mistake, he's going to jump on that mistake.
Paul Tracy now running 4th. Ryan Hunter-Ray 5th. While ahead of Biffle, it's Andretti inside and Stewart outside for the lead. Oh, man. Andretti really tried to stay inside of Stewart there. Had a little slide. But Tony gives him room.
You know, this track, as it gets cooler at night, you can run up on that second groove, and Stewart's working that second groove real well.
So the caution flag is for that fender that was flapping on the Michael Waltrip car has deposited some debris on the racetrack. So second caution out in our main event tonight here at Stafford with 30 laps to go.
Get up, get moving, and gradually reduce grays the easiest way. Just step into the shower with Just for Men Control GX shampoo. The first and only shampoo that blends away a little gray with rewash for a subtle, natural look. Control GX from Just for Men.
How could this grilled cheese double burger make your life easier?
You just eat the whole darn thing in the drive-in and don't tell anybody.
Right. I've done that before.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's my form of therapy. You got
cheeseburger therapy.
Sonic grilled cheese double burger.
When you get a quiet moment, you take whatever you got.
That's right.
URV to escape. Escape the humdrum of daily life. Escape your routine. Escape to your sunnier side. At Sun Outdoors, you're free to do, well, anything. Free to drift here or splash there. Free to turn happy hour into nature hour and back to an even happier evening. There are over 150 Sun Outdoors resorts. Escape to your sunnier side at any one of them.
The mountains or the seashore? Into the city or far from it? You and all your friends, or just you and the open sky? The experiences we never forget come from the choices we make, including this one, the Wagoneer, or the Grand Wagoneer. Grand Adventures. The choice is yours.
So, people can get a free Samsung Galaxy S22 when they trade in a Galaxy. Any year, any condition.
Oh, I get it. So you can take your old phone that you've had for 12 years and loved every minute of and trade it in for something new that suits your life now?
That's right, yeah.
Then enjoy immediate success, even though you'll never forget your old phone, ever.
It's a great trade.
Life-changing.
Get a free Samsung Galaxy S22 with any Galaxy trade-in. Any year, any condition. Only at AT&T.
Wrapping up this caution flag in our Superstar Saturday night main event here at Stafford Speedway in Connecticut. Repairs on the Michael Waltrip machine. Let's go back now that we have a minute away from that two-wide race for the lead to show you what happened.
That was a little clip job there.
Michael and Paul Tracy. Michael got squeezed a little bit, and there went the corner.
You know, and it wasn't that hard. It didn't take much to pull that right front, that left front fender off.
You see that back bumper on the car, that metal bumper? Probably snagged that on the fiberglass body, and off it goes. So Michael, after repairs, can't lose a lap on pit road in SRX racing. So Michael is back on the track after repairs. Well, PT has had his share of knockarounds through the last couple of years in SRX racing. Of course, the one with Elio Castroneves last week at South Boston. But tonight, PT's run, I think, the best race he's run so far in one of these cars. I mean, he's in fourth place right now.
This is, Tracy got into me at Eldora last year. He got into Bill Elliott as well. But Tracy's being smooth and smart.
Green flag as we have 24 laps to go in our main event. Andretti inside in orange, Stewart outside in red, Biffle in gold, Tracy in the lime green car. into the picture. Biffle gets tagged by Tracy. He's in the grass. He's back on the pavement. No caution.
Have we had any spinouts tonight? Other than Labonte getting a little loose and going across the grass, but I haven't seen a spin out yet tonight, have we?
We've had plenty of contact.
Oh yeah, no.
And I don't think we're done yet. So Greg Biffle goes all the way back to 11th place after his agricultural lap of the Speedway. So Tony Stewart has gotten away from Marco Andretti after this restart. Let's see. Yep.
That was great car control by Biffle because he had that front end pointing into the infield. Tracy did, right?
Paul just pushed up.
Oh yeah, and turned Biffle into the grass. But that's what's so great about this series. These guys are bumping and banging each other and put it off into the grass, and they get back at it and do it again.
If we get another caution, it'll be interesting to see if they double up. What Biffle can do in the last laps. Up front, here comes Marco Andretti trying for another run at Tony Stewart. Couldn't hook it up. Ryan Newman has joined the chase for the lead. That's Newman right behind Andretti.
I believe Newman is the points leader so far in the championship.
Correct. That is correct. Only by a couple, though. Over Helio Castroneves, who will drop back because he's not racing tonight, and Tony Stewart, who's right there in the thick of things. I knew the story a week ago of Ryan Newman and the harrowing accident that he had down at Daytona. Coming back now to enjoy life, savor things a little more. Newman ran a modified here last night in Stafford's regular Friday night program. Came up 8th in the main event. That's in an old modified race they had. That's no small feat to jump in one of those cars here against that crowd. Here is Andretti back inside of Stewart for the race lead.
Well, Marco doesn't want Newman beating on him, so just get in front of Stewart and let Newman work on Stewart. But every driver, when you're in a bull ring like this, you want to try to separate yourself and let second and third wrestle it out.
I'm Newman. I'm going to the outside of Andretti because Marco's going to protect the bottom, and Stewart's going to get away.
Whatever adjustment, and Marco said he was going to make some adjustments to his car for the main. Well, the adjustments seem to be working because he can run down on that bottom pretty good.
Just can't quite get all the power hooked up. You can hear it in onboard camera sound from Ryan Newman's car also. Andretti with a big lunge in turn 2 again.
Now, watch Marco. He'll dive down, and then he'll get to the center, and then he'll turn hard left, and he'll run right down low, off.
Andretti led that lap. Trying to squeeze Stewart off and stay in front. Now here comes Newman knocking on the back bumper of Stewart's car. Here's the race for 4th on back. Tracy in the lime green, Labonte in white, Haley Deegan in blue, and the yellow flag is out. This is a scheduled yellow flag. Set us up for the 10-lap sprint to the finish in this one tonight here at Stafford. Let's check downstairs with Matt.
Well, you can throw a blanket over the top 3 there battling. Go back to last year. We reached that 10-lap window of 10 laps to go. Paul Tracy was 4th or better before something big happened and took him out. So keep an eye on that lime green car. He might just be lurking there ready to pounce. If those three create some excitement up the front, you never know what can happen, Lindsay.
Yeah, Joachim, and Marco Andretti, he just wants it smooth and steady from here on out. He showed us his trophy case when we were at his house. He has that SRX trophy from last year's Slinger victory prominently displayed. He said it meant the most to him to be able to prove that he was the best IndyCar driver in the field at that point. He's got a whole group of those friends that you saw at his barbecue that are waiting back around their motorhome. They would love nothing more than to see him win here with the win tonight.
All right, Linz, thanks. So under SRX rules, the last 10 laps have to be run under green. So we'll have, and of course there are unlimited attempts at a green-white checker finish to get everyone a green flag race to the end that they want. So it'll be Andretti, Stewart, Newman, Tracy, Labonte, Deegan, your top 6 when we go back green for those final 10 laps.
You know, it doesn't seem like 10 laps is very long, but when you're leading a race, it feels like a marathon. You stay focused as hard as you can, don't make any mistakes, and watch the laps go down, but it feels like a long time, even on a short track like this.
So the signal will be given to the field at the start-finish line. One more lap, we'll go back racing. So they'll double them up here. Who you like, Marco, Tony, or other?
Stewart has got so much experience at this. You never know. Paul Tracy hasn't won it yet, and he's smelling it. He's tasting it as well. And then you got Newman. I think the top 5 guys can win this thing.
Coming to the restart with 10 laps to go in our main event at Stafford.
All it takes is one bump.
Green flag, here we go.
Time to get excited, folks.
Stewart slips a little on the outside. Andretti leads. Here comes Newman to the inside of Stewart for second. Ryan Newman to second place. Now Tracy with a peek to the inside of Tony Stewart for third, while Ryan Newman begins to close on Marco Andretti. There's Tracy inside of Stewart.
We're coming up 7 laps to go, Alan.
Inside.
Now Newman has got really good front grip. You watch how he can hustle into that corner, and that car stays gripped right in front, and he can turn down. He can almost run down on the grass coming out.
They bump, they bang, side by side for the race lead to turn 1. Ryan Newman goes underneath Andretti. Can Marco cross over back? Newman gets away.
Paul Tracy in third, looking.
And Newman just went all the way onto that apron, and he was going to do what he had to do to get alongside Marco, huh?
Yeah, it was a little shoulder bump there.
You knew that would be the case, right? This is for the lead and for the win. So Newman out front by a couple of car lengths now over Andretti. Paul Tracy is third, Tony Stewart fourth, Bobby Labonte is fifth.
Newman is really hooked up, Alan. He's really hooked up. He can stay right down on the bottom, come off, no slip, no slide.
3 laps to go. Ryan Newman, the 2008 Daytona 500 winner, the 2013 Brickyard 400 winner. They called him Rocket Man. He had 51 career pole positions. In NASCAR Cup competition, that's 9th all time. And he crosses the start-finish line here with 2 laps to go to become a winner in the Superstar Racing Experience. Tracy 3rd, Stewart 4th, Labonte 5th. Still a pretty good fight there, but it's all going on pretty well behind these two. White flag is up. Ryan Newman is 1 lap away from a win at Stafford.
Yeah, he's got enough of a gap that he could hold that right to the finish line on Marco. But
the 44-year-old from South Bend, Indiana, brings the fans to their feet. The checkered flag waves tonight over Ryan
Great job, buddy.
Newman,
Great run.
a Superstar Racing Experience winner at Stafford.
That means the world to me. The world does, buddy. You did a hell of a job, man. Welcome back.
Ryan Newman started the first of the heat races in 12th position, raced up to 7th, finished 6th in the second event. He hung out behind that great fight up the front of the pack for most all of this main event, and then when it counted most, he rocketed to the front, pun intended.
You can tell that the experience he's got from racing short tracks. He didn't need to lead any of the heats. He focused on the main event and just chipped his way right to the front.
So I said, yeah, you're saving hundreds with the home and auto bundle from Progressive, but there's no saving that casserole.
I just love that word bundle. It's so fun. So you have 2 things coming together like a force of nature. Like it was really meant to be, you know?
Yes. Yes, I do. I'm so glad you want to save money. Rodney, set up a bundle for John Hamm.
Of course. John, is it still cool if I catch a ride home with you?
I never said it was.
You know, but technically you didn't say it wasn't.
It's not.
Yet. Can I get it Mike's way? What's happening?
And your free sub. Enjoy.
Hey. That was super weird.
Oh, that? Nah. She just used the shore points you can now earn from chip and drink purchases to get free sub through the app. Download the Jersey Mike's app and earn rewards towards free subs with every sub, Pepsi, and Lay's you purchase.
Our passion for protecting vehicles started in 1934. And we've been pushing the limits of performance ever since. We innovate with the times and have the trusted filters to fit your needs. Yeah, we've been around the block, but our journey is just beginning. Fram for the road ahead. Find Fram filters at your nearest Walmart.
Camp for less at Camping World. We're your one-stop shop for camping and RV supplies. Right now, we have sleeping bags for $29, tents for $39, and cookware for 40% off. Cruise around the campground with bikes that are normally $279, now just $79. And take 40% off paddle boards and kayaks to get out on the water. Plus, you can take home a brand new RV for less than $5 a day. Camping has never been more affordable. You'll always camp for less at Camping World.
Camping World SRX Series on CBS Sports is sponsored by Fram, trusted since 1934, and by Progressive. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance.
Next on CBS, 48 hours, a wealthy California couple vanished. The clues, a few drops of blood, the manhunt, the capture. 48 hours, that's tonight. next on CBS. I don't know that I've seen more raw elation than from Ryan Newman's daughters. Let's give you a look now at the podium. Tonight's finish here at Stafford Springs. Ryan Newman with the win. Marco Andretti right behind him and followed by Paul Tracy. Matt Yoakum is standing by with the winner, Ryan Newman.
A year ago, he watched SRX at home on television, knew he wanted to get in this series and take home a trophy. I've been a part of many victory lanes that are special, but seeing the tears on your two daughters' eyes, knowing what this night means to you, can you even put into words?
No, I can't. This is so special. I got to thank everybody at SRX for this opportunity. Camping World, Sun Outdoors, all the fans for coming out. To have these two girls right here, nobody knows what that means to me. So I got choked up the last couple laps, and then seeing their smile on their face just kind of took the tears away. But they're still there. It's so special, and so proud to be a part of driving with the best drivers in the world, and to be victorious is extremely special. So I'll have me an ice cold Coke, and we'll party a little bit tonight.
You definitely served your presence with authority. It was a three-wide battle there. Walk me through the final pass to take the lead.
That restarting on the inside was the first time I had it all night, was the last restart, and just knew that was the place to be, and I knew what Marco was going to do to Stewart. It was just, run him up a little bit, so I was fortunate enough to get second on the restart and then work him for a few laps, and got a good diamond in the middle of 3 and 4, and I learned yesterday that it's easier to pass in 3 and 4 than it is in 1 and 2, so that's where I put my effort, and that's where we were able to pull it off.
Real quick, Brooke and Ash, who won tonight?
My dad.
SRX making memories, and this is a special one here tonight in Stafford. Alan?
All right, Matt, thanks. Brooklyn and Ashland celebrating with their dad tonight. Willie T, final thought. You started the night saying you expected this to be like a heavyweight slugfest, was it?
We're going to take it to Nashville. We're going to take it to Nashville, but I got to tell you, it was great strategy racing, right? Especially on Newman's part. I mean, he didn't worry about the heat. He got to the main, just chipped away. And another great driver was Tracy. Tracy did a great job. And Marco Jet Set Andretti, he's there every time.
Fun main event tonight, and lots of folks chiming in on social media about the outcome of the event as the drivers talk it over. Kenny Wallace says, Herm, thank you so much. 900,000 people here, and SRX has saved auto racing. Well, it's a big proclamation, but we sure have had fun. And my final thought on the night is this. We showed you a week ago what Ryan Newman went through with that crumpled car being a part of his car collection. To hear the emotion in his voice tonight after winning here at Stafford in the SRX series, just perfect. Absolutely perfect. Matt?
Well, AB, I thought it was going to be another trophy for Marco Andretti. There was some great racing there. How did he get by? If you had a chance to do it all over again, anything you could do to block it?
No, I mean, he did the bump, the same thing every single one of us would done to try to win the race. I'm just learning so much from these Cup guys. They're just too good, in these types of cars. So I'm slowly learning, slowly putting it together. I think if I can just, keep finishing where I'm at in the heats, gives me good enough track position to run at the front in these races. And, hopefully I can put one together before the end of the year and try to win the championship.
All right, we're on to Nashville, Lindsay.
Yes, we are, Yoakum. It's really cool to see all these drivers. Marco, Ryan, you see Ryan here with his daughters and his girlfriend, and this is so much fun just to see, as you said, the tears in the eyes, the elation, and the victory. That's going to do it for us tonight. An exciting night of short track racing here at Stafford Springs, a winning night for Ryan Newman. Our return trip to Stafford Springs certainly did not disappoint. We're going to see you next weekend from Music City. So for Alan Bestwick, Willie T. Ribbs, Matt Yoakum, and all of our crew, we say good night and so long from Stafford Springs. We're going to see you next Saturday night in Nashville. Get ready. Maybe the gloves will come off, but we can say one thing for certain. It's going to be some spectacular racing from Nashville. Good night, everybody.